What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 21 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Sceolan / Winterheart Elves Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we had some pretty great fights in the north, taking on Throt the Unclean and Throg alike in, 3 separate battles, including an ambush against Draika's force, which unfortunately for the enemy failed rather miserably. We've also got ourselves a rather nice fight for Sceolan, as he was able to raise Skaven Blight and give us like 40,000 gold. Only 4 turns worth, mind you, but still pretty darn good, you gotta admit. Anyway, plenty more to do this time, and I think we'll actually start this time off with spending a little bit of our cash. We do have a fair bit, and there may be buildings to build. We're still waiting for Spring to upgrade to the tier 5 for the vast majority of our trees, but Kingsglade here has reached tier 5, which means we'll start off with building the forest lookouts in order to get the access to the Shadow Dancers. We should upgrade the Moonstone Clearing for the Tree Men, as Waterfall Palace does not have the tier 4, and therefore we want to be able to build those. I guess we could just upgrade these while we're here. Ooh, and Forest Dragons. Yeah, alright, upgrade both of those. It's expensive, but at least we can get almost everything built out of Kingsglade that we need, and with the additional garrison out of the forest lookouts, that should be pretty okay. In Griffinwood, we are also going to upgrade your Game Lodge. Here, the Witchwood is fine. Lorelorn, I see you've upgraded to tier 4. Great, meaning we go for the Azray Armory. And you're probably in the most dangerous place of all of our locations, which means I think for you, we're missing both the Trapper's Den and the Artisan's Nexus, and while we will want to build the Artisan's Nexus, I think we also still build the forest lookouts here as well, and just so that the place has the best chance of defending itself. We have the Azray Forge. We can possibly delete some of these if needed to later. We don't necessarily need to upgrade them right now either, although we have here, this gives us Glade Singers, and the capacity is already increased, but at the same time it's relatively cheap, and I don't really mind doing that. Alrighty, Avalorn, wait, ooh. You're ready to go to the next level? Oh, I don't like that. More Sleep's Howlers. Yeah, they could easily attack this place. Well, either way, we start with the Sculptor's Cavern for the additional control, especially now that we've confederated DURTHU, so the control is going to be negative for a while. If we could trust our allies, I'd just declare war on Scalpake, but I think we'll probably just have to send an army out here. Also very tempted to just build the guy in Veils, tier 3. It'll still take a while. I'll think about it. We'll leave it as it is for now. Arguelon, you probably don't actually need the Arboreal Paddock building, so I'm not going to upgrade it for now. We will need both the Craftsman's Tree, especially the Craftsman's Tree, and this. Oh, you don't have a defensive structure, though. You know what? I think get rid of the Arboreal Paddock since it offers us no capacities. We'll start with building a guard platform. Although, admittedly, this also doesn't give us any capacities, even though the defenses are nice. This isn't bad either, and it gives us additional control and more capacity. You know what? Maybe we'll actually start with the forest patrols here. And then if we need to, we can always build the other thing. Otherwise, I believe only the Oak of Ages is good, and we're not going to build anything there because we need to get Ariel back to save the huge amount of cash and time, so we'll wait until that. Keeper Delina, you are going to keep on getting islands, so let's move you all the way to the shipwreck. I just want to make sure that we also heal 29 and 3. This is neutral territory. Let's see if you still heal here. 29 and 3, 2, nothing, and 2. Also nothing. Well, damn it. Oh, well, nothing we can do about it now. Just stay here, I guess, and hopefully this will be enough to auto-resolve. I guess if push comes to shove, we'll just manually fight it. Anyway, recruit. That was an interesting noise. Anyway, we could have Felnilsol fight this forest encounter. We do need to level her. Alright, you know what? Let's get you Ice Maiden's Kiss and Frost Shield and obviously Ice Sheet. The stuff that you will be spamming no matter what kind of army you lead. I still want the Eternal Guard to be the led by a Glade Lord that's plus 15 armor for them because they're pretty low armor troops and I don't like that. Is that Gutsman? Bragg the Gutsman, rather? Yeah, it is.
Leave me
Alright, fair enough. Let's also name a few of these Eternal Guards, since they're ready to actually start fighting. Thistle Warriors for you. Eternal Gardeners for you. Hibernating Guard. I've been sleeping away the entire campaign. Oh wow, we're only on turn 64. It's actually not that late into the campaign. We're barely starting to hit the mid-game stride. Kind of interesting. Glade Blades. Like so. Okay, that's good enough for now. And you know what? If we're gonna do this, we may as well get the free XP out of you. So we'll pop in the 2 Glade Captains. They will go into a different army, but for now, may as well. And anybody else would go with this army. We have enough melee. Well, I guess we could have the Glade Riders to chase things down and go after other units. Anyway, you're going to pop in 2 Forest Calls. I'm going to hit that Forest Encounter. And like so. What do we have here? Tree Spirits, Punished, Control +5 for all provinces. Huh. I take it this means we're fighting, rebellious tree spirits. A group of rebellious tree spirits has slain some elves. They are willing to accept banishment to the Wildwood as punishment, but this lenience may encourage further discontent. Alternatively, you can make an example of the tree spirits, but they will no doubt fight back. Alright, fair enough. I guess we'll do that. And yeah, constantly just banishing them to the Wildwood. A few of them can be caged in the Winterheart as well. Oh. There's actually no need to fight this, is there? I mean, yeah, it's a lot of treekin, but they don't do enough damage. And we've got a lot of reinforcements coming in. And don't worry, there's going to be plenty more of these forced encounters, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. Yeah, not worth our time. It is worth our money, though. We got plenty out of that, and a free forest spirit, and a couple of levels for Felden, whatever your name is. You can also have Inspiring Presence, so you can get a little bit of slow leveling going. And we could travel up here to this forest encounter, though at the same time, maybe we need you to stay near Atylwyth. We also do need to recruit here. There's also these jerk faces. You know what? Stay in camp stance. We could also send DURTHU around this way, but... DURTHU could also go up here. Morgar might come around this way. I'm not sure. You know what? Go into the Oak of Ages, and then we'll transfer you to wherever you need to go whenever we feel like it. Anyway, are you a recruiter? Actually, both of your recruiters need to do work. I'm gonna say you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 Blade Singers, who are going to be into DURTHU's fire army, and then you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 Treekin. That was admittedly extremely expensive, but it is what it is. They'll pop into DURTHU's army, and then he'll use Glade Guard with Starfire Shaft, some of which can be converted or transferred from Recruiter's army already. Nice. Oh, and of course DURTHU can also have his Firebark Elders then. Like so. Lovely. Minus 12k. That should be pretty nice. Fire, magical, poison attacks. It's a pretty solid combination. Sisters of Twilight. You are going to start off by attacking Scorpia. Wait, do you want to maybe move down and then go this way? Nice, that worked. I was just hoping not to send them further southward. We're not going to be able to reach Quintex in one go anyway, but whatever. Auto resolve. And... oh, I was hoping to choose some free money, but apparently not the case. Alright, fair enough. Go into encamp stance so you heal to full, and you can hit the city of Quintex next turn. Another Deepwood branch, which I don't care that much for, but on the bright side, we completed a couple missions, and that's always worth our time. Orion, you do have the opportunity to attack Mr. Sloppy Crookshank if you should so desire it. Grom the Paunch is back, and I fear if we don't kill him, nobody will. Which would mean sending Orion back. This could be a nice fight, though, especially with us being damaged. Damn it! Alright, fine, we'll fight it. I again, and as usual, I just can't say no. Striking branches. What else will Orion have in his army that could benefit from this? The fact is, we're not going to get benefit out of Bolts of the Forest for him anymore. We could still get Protector, because I'm not entirely sure about this. Although, let's see. Yeah, his caval's already getting high levels. We could just put a couple of Hawk Riders in his army, but, I mean, they are cav, but, Do we want anything monstrous in there? We could put a couple of Eagles in, or we could just use Bolts of the Forest, because there's probably nothing else that's going to be in there. We could give him one forest dragon just to sort of, I don't know, be Ariel's pet or something. There's potential for it. It's not that nothing else would work, it's just that he's going to have just a ton of other things. Yeah, you know what, yeah, well, maybe I'll give him a forest dragon. Maybe, if there's room and if I feel like it. Alright, Ariel, how about you? You got 2 points, and you've got Greater Arcane Conduit. Let's grab Wrath of the Wood. I don't think we'll need Tempest for this particular army against the Skaven. Life of Isha, wait, was it Tapestry of Magic? Winds of Magic cost minus 10%. Yeah, let's do 1 point in that. And then the next thing, I believe we'll start going through, not Aspect of Isha, but Isha's Blessings too. Another Winds of Magic cost reduction. Alright, good. What about the Glade Captain? I forget, are you supposed to be in this army? Yes, you are. Oh, right, we're waiting for the Unstoppable Charge one. And I still haven't managed to find that one. But oh well, let's go through Retinue Valet for you. And the rest of that looks good. Will Sloppy run? Oh, we're not at war. Okay, declare war.
No, fool.
Considering these guys just randomly attack you, the little, these little armies, you may as well but just constantly always be at war with them. Anyway, go. Alrighty, here we go. There isn't any real benefit from fighting these armies of the sort of rogue fleets, but, you know, it's fun. And I suppose we will get money out of it, so that's not a bad thing. Anyway, the enemy lord is having a bad time taking arrows of Kurnus to the face from Orion, who's got a fair bit of range at 300. Not quite as much as Sceolan perhaps, but still pretty solid. In the meantime, we are going to make a good use of the obnoxious strength of the Way Watcher units. Stock plus snipe means the enemy cannot hit us back, and we quickly destroy first their weapons teams, or their globadiers in particular, and then switch to firing upon the enemy artillery, which again cannot fire back at us. The Wood Elves may not have artillery of their own, but between arrows of Kurnus and Way Watchers, they may as well. At the very least, they will win most artillery shootouts if the enemy is not careful and doesn't identify all those Way Watchers. Anyway, the enemy lord has been killed off by Orion, chucking his spears at him, and the enemy artillery and range units are by and large gone, which means we can now back off with our Way Watchers, especially as it looks like the enemy is annoyed enough to move towards us. Lovely. If it comes down to it, as in if we have time left in the campaign, I'd like to make a sort of small but highly specialized ranged army with probably not more than 5 units of Way Watchers, but then put a bunch of the Way Stalker heroes in that one army with them. At least 5. Maybe a couple of Glade Captains or something like that. Just sort of a hyper elite ranged army, but not a full stack. I've done that in a few other campaigns where I went with like sort of a couple of heroes and just a couple of super elite units. And definitely did that in the Kislev campaign with Uragni, but you know, Uragni is a one-man army, so yeah, no. Anyway, the enemy is still moving towards us. We do still have all of our units of Wild Riders hidden, so the enemy doesn't know where they are. All it can do is continue to approach under fire from both our cavalry and our regular range units, who are actually probably not going to be in this army for all that much longer, since we're going to take the sort of extra units from our Ara's army, which should be fun. And hey, would you look at that? A Doomwheel is moving towards us, but is frankly having a bad time against the Sisters of the Thorn. And in fact will shatter, oh, and it'll also whiff on the Warp Lightning. Oh, poor rats. And now they're approaching the hill where we have all of our range units, the Swift Shiver Shards, adding their high damaging twin shots to those of the armor piercing units of the Way Watchers. Ariel launches that dart of hers. Very flashy spell, Dart of Doom. And it looks like the enemy is unable to close the distance with her. Alrighty. Well, Well, very, very nice. It looks like the enemy is just about out of the picture there. And, ooh, would you look at that? A warp fire thrower unit is rallied, but by the looks of it, not for too much longer. The Wild Riders push on out of the trees that they were in, and it looks like one volley from the warp fire throwers hits our Glade Captain for like 2% HP damage before being taken out. And with that, the battle is ours. And the enemy will not be escaping. We're going to just smash into them with our Wild Riders and not allow, well, the majority of them, let's say, to escape. If you're wondering why I didn't bother using the Wild Riders here, there clearly wasn't a need. A, B, the range units are high, super high damage dealing range units, have a decent likelihood of killing off models of the Wild Riders. In fact, I think they killed one here. And the other thing is the fact that the Wild Riders were damaged going into this battle, so why allow them to get damaged more while the range units are fine? All right, there we go. And man, Way Watchers remain one of the most absolutely obnoxious units in the entire game. They're just obscene, and that's why I don't spam them. It's kind of like the same situation as Thunder Barges and trains with the, well, specifically the Dreadquake mortar trains, but. Yeah, it's too mean. Anyway, we will. Really tempted to heal because we got damage via auto-resolve previously. We'd have to say no to 3.3k though, but who knows how long it'll be until Orion gets to heal. We'll just heal it up. And oh no, we gotta chase you down. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have taken the money first and then healed up. I'm too late now. All right, I'll resolve this out. Don't you dare damage our army severely. Okay, 3 is not so bad. And here we'll heal again. Maybe that was worth it. Alrighty, anyway. I did say I wanted to go here, but I think we'll leave Grommy maybe to DURTHU or somebody. Can you land in non-chaos territory? Yes, you can. Go into Aquitaine. We'll pass this place, then we'll go directly to the Oak of Ages, just to build up the next level, even bypassing the mysterious island. And if Morgar wants to ambush Orion and Ariel, he's welcome to try it. Phaedian, you and Draika. Alright, so here's what we'll do. Draika, can you... No, you cannot. Alright, go into regular stance. Besiege help it, I think.
The silent
Yes, Besiege help it. And then Phaedian will put you into encamp stance, and you will build up some stuff, like so. You'll heal up very, very slightly, while Phaedian stays in encamp stance. If they sally out, they will encounter both armies. If they don't sally out, we'll heal Phaedian's army to full, and we'll be looking pretty good. Oh, I should have moved you slightly up. Wait, can you? Looks like you're just out of range.
Nature's servant.
I kind of forgot about you. Alright, well, whatever. Go, you'll join them eventually, and then you as well. All the Blade Masters together under Phaedian. It makes sense to me. There we go. Alright, who is next? I'd like to think all the Blade Masters compete for Phaedian's favor. Ellen Delling, you will, I guess, auto-resolve this garbage. I see we have a mission here. Kerrig Henriksen, die. Like so, free money. We don't need to heal because we're going right back to our own territory. And another free Helm of the Hunt, I'll take it. And that was an Ice Court mission as well. Nice, nice baby. Anyway, Felnilson, right. Felnilsal, rather. I put you where you're supposed to be. DURTHU, you cannot move, so just sit here until I'm ready for you. Tech Thieves, you do need to move, especially since you've got 7 more turns, so let's go. Wait, do we have diplomatic contact with these guys? We do. If we hadn't, I might have forgone moving up here, but you know. May as well. Other Tech Thief, you have actually ranked up, and oh, you're saving points for Scry for the Hero Action Success chance. Fair enough. Go out here and try not to get assassinated by all these guys. In fact, go all the way to the Cradle of Ash and enjoy. At least this way you'll help keep an eye on what the heck's going on out here.
No.
Failure? Come on, man. Come on. Who's next? Nobody's next. Okay, we've spent the money, and we've made the moves, so I guess we end the turn, and then we see who sallies out. And why didn't I build anything in Lorelorn? Oh, right, it was one of these, wasn't that? Yeah, we got the defenses coming in. Still very tempted to at least upgrade the guy in Vale. It's gonna be a while before anybody's here. You know what, just do it. Alright, skip. No need to wait for spring for you, and besides, we'll still need to upgrade to tier 4, which we can do in the spring then. Alright, and turn, wait. Oh no, you need to be level 15 for this. Yeah, alright, fine, end turn. Alright, Scalpic, will you... It's gonna probably be a full stack rather soon. I wonder if we should move to Guy and Vale with Ariel. What do you want, Mr. Scraggy? You want a peace treaty, but you're only willing to give us 300 gold? That's pathetic. You're only at war with us, but you're allied with Scryer and the ogres. Yeah, there's no real point to piecing out with Scrag. Just because he'll just eventually attack us again. It's inevitable because he's allies with factions that we're just, you know, annihilating. Or will be annihilating. Time has no meaning in the Dreaming Wood. Anyway, it's just like the warp. And what do we have here? Anybody willing to sally out and attack us? I'm most interested in Molder, though they might have already moved. I think Scryer is fairly early in the sort of turn order. And if Molder's there as well, that means they didn't sally out. Well, that's unfortunate for them, or it's gonna be, considering Fedjan's army will be at full HP by then. Yeah, looks like it. Alright, well.
Speak briefly, then...
And declare war from Scaling. Sure. Yeah, no, we're not calling anybody to help. Again, not... Ooh, hello, they're moving in with 2 armies. I like it. Alan Lelling, that'll be more work for you. Isalal is back, Datan is back, Ambusher discovered, ritual available, Griffin... Damn, we have 2 rituals that we're waiting on now. Oh! Hello, Ariel. You didn't kill, these guys' main stack, did you? Oh, yes. I really hope that you... Oh, no, you're going for Froltress instead of capturing Grungzint? Come on. Oh, and you even sacked it. Altharian. If anybody should be killing these guys, it should be you, man. Alright, you know what? Occupy target. Let's just... If he can do that, I would be just... Yeah. Anyway. Wolfric the Wanderers down here. The Slaughter Hunters. Huh. That sounds like the name of 2. Huh? Okay, well... Oh, they're gonna take Prague. And I'm annoyed about that because I want it... Are you going after Zavostra? Okay, I'm running the freaking AIs. I want to trade Prague, but that's not going to happen at this rate. We will take the mission for, I don't know, Wolfric, I guess. Whatever. He's kind of far, which is a little bit unfortunate. What can you do? Morathi is nearby, but I see Akhenet is in the ancient city of Quintek, so I think that's the better option, and Akhenet as well. Also, Akhenet sounds like a Nehekaran name, doesn't it? Is it just me? Anyway, you go into Forest Calls and besiege the ancient city of Quintex. They have a pretty fantastic garrison, dragons, dread knights, lots and lots of elites, and valiant defeat. Let them sally out and be destroyed. Sceolan, you, after taking on Skaven Blight, I guess we can directly go to Miragliano. I'm wondering if it's a tier 5 as well. Oh, and Baldig's down here. Alright, what do we have here? Summon Garrison is... Oh, it'll kill off the 2... Why would it kill these 2? 61 movement speed. Oh, I see. They're faster than the Eternal Guard and the Wraiths of the Frozen Heart, but they are much slower than the War Dancers. And considering they have more units, I guess it makes sense. Okay. We might fight this in a second. Now, let's just, I'm gonna forget about it, aren't I? We'll see. Anyway, Felnil Sol, you can keep racking up the XP. No problem with that. Try going after Baldig instead of this, which we would, I guess, then leave DURTHU to. Where are you going? Who are you fighting right now, Gorbad? You are fighting Vidrioth and Torgavon, but are too afraid to attack us? That's interesting. Though he may not remain, so he may very well attack Parabon. Ooh. There's an army here. Can we... Can we risk leaving these guys? What's the likelihood that they win the fight and then sack it? They do have a wall there. I don't know, man. Hey, there's Morgar. Man, maybe I should have just jumped out of Skavenblight and gone this way to go after Morgar's defeat trade. Ooh, lots of stuff happening around Atylwyth. Keeping it interesting, though. I like it. Ara. Also, wait. What's the likelihood that you win this fight? Low? I'm gonna say low. Either way, I'd like you... Okay, you have Bolts of the Forest. Well, let's go through Piercing Thorns, then. For the melee units, obviously, Waystalker, I may not like your trait... Wait, I do like your trait. Frankly, I should probably get you to another army, but for now, we'll keep you as you are. The Hunt would be helpful. Don't you have Kinband Captain? Oh, no, Kinband Captain would be Glade Captain, because, you know, Captain. Yeah, fine, fair enough. Do this. If we have room, we'll get you one. You Branch Wraith. I guess we'll max out Howl of the Forest to buff up our melee units, and you should have at least 1 point in the Penumbral Pendulum to be able to cast it and do a little bit of damage. Alright, so Elendellings, stay where you are. Ara, we've got a tiny little manual fight here at Talabheim for you. Like so, we're gonna manual it. And this is Festus's last fight, and much as I'd like to grab his defeat trait a couple more times, I don't think it's happening here. It's more critical that we wipe out as many factions that are threatening us as possible. Leave individual factions alive and then destroy other individual factions rather than spread out our damage amongst all factions, leaving some alive because of the AI. Because of the AI cheats, they can get more armies up and running on factions that are still kicking. Alrighty, you can do, let's see, this. You two will be firing at the enemy lord, and then you guys, there's no trees to hide in? Oh, good lord, alright, you're gonna go all the way back here. We'll have the bats to cover you just in case, and I forgot one of you guys, my bad. You're gonna go right here. You should be in range, maybe even slightly like this. Alright, looks good to me. And turn off skirmish mode, it's not needed here. You two, do this, you... Get your ability going. Are you moving towards us? No, but you are firing, so let's just reduce the possible casualties. You attack the Lord. You attack the Lord. Good. Good. I probably should have put you into a group. Group 2. Group up. Good. And move towards the enemy. And why are you running? Alright, speed up. Ah, see, that's what I get for speeding up. If I was playing at a normal speed, I would have dodged that. Yeah, well, what can you do? Trying to save the time. Alright, good, back off, keep firing, back off. Yes, this remains a rather silly army, but also it remains the fact that this really should have been auto-resolvable. The fact it wasn't is absolutely ridiculous. Especially after how many fights this army has won already. Alright, kill those dogs, they're, you know, a more critical force. Since I'm at max speed, I'm not going to control the, you know, 4 individual groups as like I usually do with this. But there isn't any need, because with that the enemy army shatters and the battle is ours. Alright, now... You do this. And then, just for no reason, do this, and do that. There you go. one little bit of extra, a little bit of damage from these guys, just to get them back for that darn Searing Doom. But again, I blame myself for that. For max speeding it. I still would have taken it, though. For the fact that we better save the time than the, you know, 6 losses. Not a big enough deal to care about. Alright, good. We will cede the place since raising it is worth nothing, and the fucking Dites are destroyed. I don't really care about these territories, however, we will... you know, Nurglide Corruption means don't bother collecting the income, but we'll keep them for the trade goods, at least for now. And possibly eventually trade them to Kislev, depending on how much territory we can take. Oh, these guys have captured Kappelberg. Was it from somebody, or... No. It is not. Again, it's only a matter of time until these guys declare war on us. Man, I really should have gotten an extra lord and had them occupy Zavastra to trade to these guys, and frankly, these guys should have tried to occupy Zavastra themselves, since it would complete their territory, their province. They're not even attempting it right now. Ooh, unlocks recruitment of things in the woods. Alright, well, that will actually work nicely with some of our armies. We can't trade Prague. We could actually peace out with these guys, can't we? The only annoying thing about this is they are still at war with Kislev. But it will allow us to maintain Prague. And Serena Katrin's one army should be enough to defeat one of their armies. Maybe we do peace out. How much money are you willing to offer us? 4.3k. Just so we don't have to go back around this way to deal with Prague. They will just sit there and raid, though. I will think about it over the next, you know, few minutes. DURTHU, you got places to be, sir. You can move this far, or you can move this far. I'm gonna say this far. You can see a bit better. Like so. You won't suffer attrition. You are gonna quickly auto-resolve an island. I swear there was another island I was looking at, but I forgot where it was. And valiant defeat. Oh, for the love of... Okay, manually fight it real quick. I know that there is a rotting Leviathan there, but, and yeah, you guys are hurt, but again, I don't know, it's fine. Maybe I should upgrade these two Cagbane tips and Starfire chefs. They're slightly more expensive, but they also should be a little bit more capable in melee. Maybe get a couple more Dryads to replace two of these. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Anyway, oh, they actually can't be upgraded yet because they're not high enough level. There is that to consider as well. Anyway, you guys go forward. Fire over the hillside. And then you guys will... I mean, I guess you could still go in front of them. Like so. And then you... You're not flying, are you? You are not flying. A shame. But it should make no difference. Alright, and start battle. Move forward. Max speed. Max speed. And fire, fire, fire. Fire, fire, fire. Good, 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 good. Alright, the enemy being primarily direct fire should work out nicely for us. You fire on the hand cannons. You three fire on this other unit of hand cannons. In fact, you guys switch to this unit now. You guys switch to this unit now. I don't really care if anybody dies, but, you know, let's be somewhat careful here. And you go there, you go there. You... just distract this unit, and then you stay back here, get ready to distract it if it tries to go through it. Looks good to me. Alright, you run this way. And did I turn off skirmish mode on you guys? Yes, I did. Huh, you're actually going after our Lord? Interesting. Alright, Lord, just don't fight directly. You stay here. I'd like you to lob missile fire into the enemy. I'd like you guys to switch to this. And... fire on whatever. Everybody will soon, shortly, switch to firing upon the big boy here. Alright, you go distract. Alright, good, good. You guys swap out, and you guys blob up so that it's easier for our range units to fire. Switch back to max speed, and good. Most of the enemy are dead. You can back off now. You're fine. You guys retarget. You guys target the big boy. You guys back off so that you don't die, I guess. And you can back off as well so that you don't die. You swap out, you swap in. And speed it back up to max. Good, 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 good. Alright, you distract these guys. We're at max speed now, but it's all good. And the enemy should melt away in a few seconds. Big boy is done, and zombies are done. Good. How was that not auto-resolvable? I get that we're using all tier 1 units, and tier 1 units are never going to be the best in auto-resolve, but range remains the meta, and the auto-resolve should, I guess, recognize that. Though I suppose, on the other hand, then that would just sort of favor AIs that use too much range, and then that would sort of decide the way that the sort of overworld, the meta, the map, on the map would happen. But anyway, we will take the money, not bother to heal, because we're out of here now. Anything interesting? Still more money. Wanted materials, let's see. Anyway, you will now go march stance or full speed stance right here. There's another island here, but we also need to get back closer to the Shrine of Cain because obviously we don't want somebody attacking it. And you should be able to heal at sea once at least. Maybe that'll be enough to get to here. So have anything interesting here? You have Bolt of the Forest, and you have Air of Kurnus. I guess we should get you Eye of Kurnus, because you will be primarily buffing the ranged units here. Alright, looks good to me. Who else? Recruiter. You have the Blade Singers, which need to be transferred to DURTHU, but we're kind of in a weird situation here. For now, Felnil Sol, we're going to move you towards Boldig.
They die.
We'll see if... Wait, stop. We will see if we have Air of Kurnus on these guys. We do. Okay, good. Just wanted to double check. Go after Boldig. Boldig will surprisingly not run. No, it's not a bad army. He's got 4 Iron Guts. We got a Scrap Launcher. Yeah, alright, I'll fight it. Go.
For the Queen!
Alrighty, here we go. We've got the debut battle of our Eldrazi and Loek army with all of our Eternal Guard, the regular kind, as well as some War Dancers and Blade Singers, all of the Twin Blade units. We got the Spears for anti-large, and we've got the Blades for mincing all the infantry, when they get to us at any rate. We're going to start the battle off by hiding in the trees, however, just so that the enemy's scrap launcher artillery piece doesn't and dish out any significant damage to our relatively fragile Eternal Guard. Again, if we can get the Lord with a plus 15 armor as well as a War Drum, they're going to be a lot tankier, which would be real nice. And the scrap launcher is not going to be kicking for too much longer. The two Glade captains have already brought it down to about 30% HP, and it looks like it's going to start rushing on out of there. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit while we get a few more volleys into it, and then just back off, launch one last Arrows of Kurnos, and oh, it survives with 43 HP. Although with that amount of HP, I don't imagine it'll be back, so that means we're free to leave the confines or the sort of safety of the trees and move forward. And there we go. Lots of ogres, so a lot of benefit of the decent anti-large bonus from the Eternal Guard here. Although, admittedly, 10 isn't all that much. Probably not to the degree of the Wildwood Rangers, but well, we can take a charge, and ooh, how can we take a lot of those Flocks of Doom, though? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Anyway, the Glade Captains are now in the midst of the formation, and the War Dancers and Blade Singers will move forth, interspersing themselves amongst the Glade Guard and starting to dish out their damage. And on the flanks, of course, we have the two units of Treekin, which we recruited to this army just because the flanks will always be dangerous, and as the Glade Guard are relatively fragile units, we don't want the flanks overrun. In the center, of course, we pop the Heart of Winter to dish out the damage to the biggest blob of ogres, though I don't imagine the spell is going to be as effective against things like Iron Guts, as they're just too... they've just got too much HP. Maybe a little bit better against the regular Ogre Bulls, since they're pretty fragile for monstrous infantry. But again, monstrous infantry is probably not the best use for that particular spell. On the bright side, though, everybody, our units, I guess, are tearing through the enemy main line rather rapidly, but being blobbed up means getting hit with repeated Flocks of Doom to a lot of our units. I imagine Mr. Boldig is having a decent time, but 20,000 damage from 2 Flocks of Doom, and we should really surround and kill him so that he can't do that again. Oh, he does use his mass to move away, though, so we'll send the 2 Glade Captains on those great stags at him. And they should be able to rout him, well, now. Lovely. The bounce power shifts to about 90%, maybe 85% in our favor, as there are still a fair few enemies fighting on the left flank. Fighting slowly, I might add, as the ice sheets continue to drop down among them, or upon them. And considering the ogres are fairly reliant on their speed, that is not working out so well for them. Especially in the way that the AI has a tendency to use them with lots of cycle charging from the ogre bulls. Which, frankly, is a good idea considering they're very fragile. But anyway, Mount's power is definitely 90% in our favor. Now a few units remain. We're going to quickly clear a few of those Hobgob mercenaries with an Ice Maiden's Kiss. And now it's just a matter of time. Bring what remains down in any way we can. Surprisingly, one of the Iron Guts units are still at full HP, but we do have the Azrae Spears working on their flanks as well. Again, I'm not entirely sure whether we're keeping the Azrae Spears in this particular army, just because there might not be quite enough room for them, especially if we want artillery and a Shadow Dancer or 2 in here, which we very well might. And a War Drum. But for now, they work quite nicely, and thanks to their pretty insane speed, they should be able to chase the ogres down, no problem. Although I suppose a decent amount of the others will escape, it won't matter much as this army is still pretty much destroyed. Lovely. Alright, very nice, and a free potion of healing, considering we are in desperate need of these. Well, in fact, in desperate need of a lot of items, yay, is what I'm getting at. Not a significant amount of damage, considering we took actually a lot of damage on our Eternal Guard, but by virtue of the fact that the enemy, I guess, had relatively low alpha in their army, there was not a lot of model loss, just HP loss, which means we recovered to near full. That's actually surprising at the Iron Guts, but still, very nice. We will... Yeah, we don't need the heals here. Release the captives. Oh, wow, 170. Well, not surprising. They're Blade Slingers. What do you expect? Lots of damage out of the Glade Riders, but they were riding down the sort of weakest elements of the enemy army, so... Yeah. Alright. Now, this guy's gonna back up. Okay, of course you're gonna go around the hill, but... Will you go so far around the hill that we can't catch you? Yes, you will. Well, screw you. Alright, enemy killed in battle. Fell in little Saul. You're not keeping that potion. One of the fighty lords is going to get that. You are then going to go into ambush stance and go, hopefully... we can't get to our own territory, which we should. Alright, go here. It doesn't matter that you're in ambush. Go into our own territory because it saves us like 2,000 gold per turn. Oh, you can go into ambush. Good. Alrighty, now, recruiter. I am still not entirely sure how I want to play this, so just wait a minute. Alright, wait. Was it this turn that we besieged? Yes, it was. Alright, Orion. You have landed. You cannot reach Morgur, and he's going to Quinnell, which we actually do want to keep because it does give recruit rank for cavalry faction-wide, meaning, I guess you're going to go this way, and he can attempt to ambush you. Oh, does he have a Skaven Plague on him? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Well, we'll go this way. I'm going to assume he'll run away from Orion and not attempt to directly attack us, but we'll see. I really don't want him to spread the Skaven Plague to us, at least not right now. But if it happens, it happens. It's just that Orion's army will thus be useless for several turns, and this I did this turn, right? Wait, no, that was last turn. They didn't sally out, you absolute coward. Oh, decisive victory, low casualties. Alright, fair enough. Oh, but it'll kill off one of the malevolent dryads. I mean, I guess we could fight it. It's not... I mean, it's a pretty good garrison. There's good stuff in here, right? Seems like it would be worth our time. And we don't have a lot of range units to actually knock down a lot of the monsters. Or the towers. I'd say there's potential. Alright, you guys stay there for a minute. Perhaps the auto-resolve is lying in our favor. It does do that on occasion. We will... Wait, Draika. Oh, what is this? Oh. Were you coming this way to help? Maybe you were. You need to switch to Forest Calls no matter what. Recruiter. The other recruiter. You have now completed your other Lothern Skycutter, meaning we need to travel through this territory. That's a little bit of attrition, whatever. Through Astanka's territory in order to try to deliver it to the Sisters of Twilight. Ellen Delling, you've got these guys on the way, but that's probably not changing anytime soon. Did they wuss out? Maybe they did. I will probably get you a proper army at some point. It's just that, you know, we can't afford it. At least not right now. Draca, you're about to fight, so you're fine. And, ooh, before I forget. You. Isolal, you're supposed to join Fedyan's army. Lovely, and then we got the third and final Blade Master on the way, Circo.
There can be no
Here, please. Try not to get assassinated. That'd be just swell. Fedyan. In March stance, you might be able to reach Prague to the point that even if these guys occupied, you could retake it or kill them if they sack it. Maybe we'll do that. If we take the place with Draika or raise the place with Draika. I mean, that's the best way to play it without piecing out with them. And without keeping them, you know, safe from our administrations. DURTHU. I'm still thinking. Milnell, you're... I should probably kill this, but I'm a tech thief. You can go steal from this place. 53? This is very low for you. Why is it so low? What about this place? Still 53, but your chance to die there is 1, and oh, it's 1 here as well. Screw it, just do it then. Don't screw me on this. Well, you failed, but you didn't die. It would have been annoying to have you die after sailing all the way out here. Star Metal Cemetery, 63 and 6. Not great.
Destruction.
But give it a try. Plus, we need to pay attention to Star Metal Cemetery anyway. Oh, the chant. No. Go for a Cradle of Ash and Joy then.
Fear the wrath of Atylwyth.
Alright, at least you succeeded. You're not rank 10 yet, but you're getting there. And frankly, the tech thievery isn't even all that necessary anymore, but we've got most of the much needed techs, and all the really good techs that we want will be the techs from the Amber. Yeah, success. Good for you. Rank 6, does that do anything for us? Yes, it does. Oh, right. You have Bewitching, but you haven't actually... Yeah, okay. You were confederated with DURTHU, which is why you're like this. Alright, Milnell. I guess we have no choice but to fight this. These guys will probably run from... Actually, they probably won't. They got a lot of stuff. But then Gorbad will take Paravon, as we probably won't be able to reach it with DURTHU. Maybe. Orion is here. I don't think he can go for Orion. Alright. DURTHU, go here. Milnell, trade to DURTHU these guys.
So I dance.
Like so. DURTHU, lose the one Eternal Guard. Milnell, do we need you to reinforce? I don't think so. DURTHU, you're gonna go into Forest Call stance. Branch Wraith, you are going to upgrade Shield of Thorns. Absolutely critical. And I'm gonna say Penumbral Pendulum. We'll need the big old Penumbral Pendulum through this nonsense. DURTHU. Let's get all of these guys. The heck? Okay, this thing disappeared and I was like, oh no. That's not good. You are going to get the expert charge defense and armor for these guys, and you... Wait. Okay. You are also going to get aspect of the yoke like everybody else. You, however... I guess the range thing? Missile strength, speed... Oh, do you not have the extra range one? Melee defense, armor, and you have missile strength. At a loss of armor, but you shouldn't be in melee anyway, Grove Guardians. I guess we'll do this. Only 10% missile strength, honestly, it's not a lot. I'm almost tempted to say the aspect of the yoke is better just because it'll make you less targets as in the shootout. And it's not like the extra speed is going to help you all that much either. It's a loss of armor. And I really don't expect you to do much in the way of melee fighting. Why must this decision be so difficult? Just whatever. We can always redo it, can't we? I think we can. Anyway. Dryads, I guess we'll temporarily, just for this fight, get you the armor thing. Well, I say just for this fight because they're going to be out of the faction soon. You are fighting Torgavon and Vidrioth. Out of curiosity, are either one of them close? Torgavon is close to confederating, so we will want to become even friendlier with them. Join war against the Ironclaw Orcs.
Deliver your message.
And give us all your money to make you poorer.
By all means.
Hopefully that'll make you next turn more likely to confederate, although taking out some of their armies would be good as well, but you know, I'm not passing this up. Go after Muzg, who will indeed stay and fight. Sounds good to me. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Last episode was Coadils, and now DURTHU will debut as well. Both of the Forest Elders are now fighting for our faction. And you see why I thought that maybe the Sword of Daith would give us some kind of fiery attack? I mean, look at it. But apparently not. But oh well, not a big deal. Still works nicely in terms of the way it looks with the Firebark Elders, who will make their debut, as well as our single unit of Grove Guardians with great bows. Excited to see how well this SFO unit does. Alright, big ol' arrows firing at the enemy at solid 317 range. Yeah, it's basically an artillery piece. Well, again, like Ushabti with great bow. Anyway, the battle will start off with the enemy heading towards us with lots of those frantic units of theirs. The Mangler Squigs and the Pump Wagons rush towards us, but of course they can only rush through the infantry. They're not getting past the Treekin by any means. Alrighty, and of course we're firing back at the enemy with what we have. Well, for now we have lots of different range units of different arrow types, but eventually they'll all be fire types. I'm gonna pop off a Flock of Doom in the midst of the enemy formation while DURTHU faces off against the two meatballs in the center of the map. One of the Colossal Squigs is already down to 20% of its HP, and we'll focus on the second when the first is destroyed. Unfortunately, the Treekin do seem to be getting in DURTHU's way a little bit, and we gotta get him at least a couple of tree men as well. And it looks like the first of the meatballs with 157 HP is out of there, and frankly the second's already at half HP, being pinned down by the Waystalker and pin-cushioned a little bit. Speaking of pin-cushion, the first one is done, and frankly the second one is just about out of the picture as well. Down we go. Beautiful. Alrighty, obviously the enemy is completely failing to breach our line of Treekin, and our range units are obliterating the enemy as needed. And here, two of our units of Treekin have actually surrounded and killed off or at least severely damaged a Black Orc Big Boss. Defeated him, certainly. Oh, I like that shield, though. Alright, well, the Black Orc Big Boss stands a little to no chance. We still have plenty of ammunition on our Grove Guardians here as well, which is very nice. They don't appear to lose ammunition quite as fast as the other units. Let's see, their reload time is 6 seconds. Alright, so they could probably use a spare war banner if we can find one. I'm definitely going to try to see if we can. Orc Boar Boys attempt to escape but get massively slowed down by the combination of Melkot's mystifying miasma and poison from range fire, and this unit is destroyed, and it looks like the enemy's main stack is destroyed before the Wa arrives. Still, that's a full 20 stack of Wa units still coming in. We just gotta try and knock out the Goblin Rock Lobbers that have been firing at us for the entire battle, and before the Wa arrives. The enemy lord just fired off a Gaze of Mork, or actually a Vindictive Glare, rather, but in true Greenskin and Skaven fashion, it seems like it killed pretty much a bunch of their own units and did nothing to us, which was kind of amazing. Anyway, just gotta still work on that Goblin Rock Lobber. I believe only our Glade Riders are in range. Luckily, the artillery crews are going to be pretty fragile, so this unit is in bad shape. And will at the very least be crippled before the Wa arrives, even if it isn't destroyed. Speaking of the Wa, here it comes. And ooh, look at those arrows coming in from the long-range Grove Guardians there. See where their next shots land, if I can spot them. There they are. There we go. Very, very nice. Well, just keep firing away. See how many of these blobs of units you can kill. And ooh, looks like DURTHU gets hit with another Vindictive Glare. But he is moving forward for a reason. There we go. I'm gonna activate that Lamentation of Despairs, which actually finishes off the unit of Tactical Boys. Beautiful. No more firing back at us. And with that, DURTHU's gonna back off to the main line. The artillery piece is just about done for, with one artillery piece remaining, but we're gonna have to back the Glade Riders off now as they're starting to take a fair bit of damage from range fire. Speaking of range fire, as the Wa units close the distance, the remnants of our ammunition will be spent on dishing out the damage to them, but the Bounce Power is already at 75% in our favor, and I don't imagine this blob is gonna have a particularly good time. DURTHU's gonna pop off a Flock of Doom in the midst of them. And he's up to 34,000 damage, not too bad. That's Flock of Doom plus the Sword of Death, which is another ability when he's in combat, in close combat, to dish out damage to blobs like this. Similar to previous times, the enemy infantry piles will break upon the tree spirits, or treekin rather, and get burnt by the Firebark Elders. I suppose if we wanted to do like an Ice and Fire theme, we could put the Firebark Elders together with the Wraiths of the Frozen Heart. And too bad we don't have access to more of those units, but oh well. They'll work nicely with DURTHU as well. Again, they do match the Sword of Death. Speaking of the Sword of Death, DURTHU will move into the biggest blob of enemies he can find. He's going to activate another Flock of Doom, and I guess he's already used the Sword of Death, but suffice it to say that he's dishing out a lot of damage to everybody around him. Gonna pop off one more Lamentation of Despairs, but the enemy lord and army will shatter just before the spell lands, so the enemy's going to run away rather than take the hit. Lovely. With that, DURTHU wins the battle in the underway and has cleaved through 118 units and racked up a solid 68.4 thousand damage. 69k. Nice. And on that note, the battle ends. Alright, there we go. It's such a shame that we were only able to confederate DURTHU with one unit of Grove Guardians, especially the ranged Grove Guardians. These guys are insane. 467 kills, 46,000 damage. They're, I guess, kind of like Ushabti with Great Bow. They are really, really good, or at least seems to be very good at mincing giant piles of infantry, because every one of their arrows is like a cannon shot through the enemy's ranks. I'm pretty darn happy with these guys. They need an appropriate name, and there can only be one. But anyway, not that everybody else didn't do pretty darn decently as well, especially against the Wa units. Anyway, we will release those captives. We're gonna back up. Huh? Are you kidding me? Oh, because you can't back off this way. Well, screw you too. Let's see. Dragonfire handgun. Wow. I was not expecting that. Okay, well, it looks like DURTHU is indeed fated to be the fire army, because what's the likelihood that his fight gets us a fire gun, or whatever, dragonfire handgun. We'll just pretend it's a dragonfire bow, okay? Shut up. There we go. Flaming attacks and armor-piercing missile damage. Granted, that'll make you lose your poison, right? You have a base poison on your missile strength, but, you know, gotta do this. It does increase your armor-piercing missile damage as well. Yeah. Alright. Pretty happy with that. DURTHU, you've got... Oh. We could chase this guy down. It might be too far from... If we can still go into March Stance, we could still go to Paravent, though it is kind of concerning. We got a lot of scary stuff here, and another Wa, and then this army. What do we have at Paravent? Admittedly, these are some solid defenses. Alright, screw it. I'm gonna hope that we can still go into March. Oh, I just realized something. If we do this and attack it, the auto-resolve will probably severely damage the army. Alright, I might fight that between the episodes if there is time. Let's see what else we have here. So, you guys could still attack this, which probably would be a better use of our time. Elendil, stay there. Draika, DURTHU, I was just talking about you. Milnel, I guess you could follow. Oh, these are supposed to go to... Alright, do you not have space for them? Alright, wait, we should check the Glade Captains. I feel like I didn't check. No, it's Guardian. I was hoping for a different one. Oh, we got another Ancient Purist. More regen, which ain't too bad. Waystalker, Arahane, and... If this was for army, that would be great. Actually, it wouldn't even be that great. It would be something. Whereas this is nothing. Did I do building this particular turn? Or was that last turn? Judging by the fact that this isn't complete, that was last turn. So we'll go for the Eternal Watcher's garrison. Griffinwood will hopefully thusly be safe. Witchwood is fine-ish. Lorelorn, you were waiting for... something. It was one of these. Yeah, alright, good. Avalorn. Go for the growth first. And Arguelon, you were waiting for something else. We've got the forest lookouts. And, oh, you need the craftsman's tree and the winery, but we'll start with the craftsman's tree. Like so. Anybody else? In Edri Eternas, we are not going to upgrade the Oak of Ages as yet. DURTHU! Wait, no, not DURTHU. I lied. Oh man, there's another army coming down. Well, I guess it was only a matter of time before we declared war on these guys. Let me guess, they're gonna start liking each other now? No. Well, that's still probably not gonna happen. Any chance we could get you to attack these guys? Broken Axe. Wait, no. Iron Claw Orcs. Minus 72. Okay, well, coward. He has Altdorf, man. You should want to go and take that. Come on, this isn't the Vlad we know. Anyway, Draika, let's level Coadil and let's get ready to mosey on. And Coadil, another point in Flock of Doom wouldn't be amiss. Transformation of Kadan, probably not worth it. Ancient Hoarding gives us only buffs for force battles, which this will not be. And too bad we're not yet ready for Glamour Rage, which will... Ooh, this will power up Draika nicely as well. Just checking what else we have here. Oh, I still want this raiding faction-wide, even if we don't do a lot of raiding. Anyway, I guess we're going for Flock of Doom, then. What about you guys? You. Hidden Paths, Shadow, anything useful here? We should probably start going through these. Alright, what about you two? Yeah, not yet. Still waiting on that rank 15. What about the Glade Captain? You have Heir of Kurnus. And while you're in this army, I guess... Okay, well, let's at least get you increased mobility. It won't help. It won't be helpful here, but, you know, it might eventually be helpful. And actually, you know what? Let's actually max out Retinue Valet here. While you're in this army, that could certainly still be helpful. What about Feodjen? She herself does not need levels. You two, however... Might. We could start moving through to Colossus. Right? You know what? Let's get Word of Loic and Word of... no, wait. You can also have Retinue Valet. And you can have Heir of Kurnus, Foe Seeker. I guess we'll want to get Dance of Loic and Possessed by the Trickster God, and the rest of that, I guess, is fine. We'll save for more Retinue. Alright, looks good to me. Let's take Help It. Still, I assume won't be able to auto-resolve it. No, still will kill off our one Malevolent Dryad. Which has more... Why? You're a higher rank, and you have more troops than this Dryad, for example. Why would you die? You're also presumably tankier. 37... Yeah, you're slightly tankier. I don't know, man. But we're fighting. Go. Alrighty, here we go. DURTHU may be on field, but Coadil won't be outdone by the Oakheart's sort of soft attitude towards the meatbags. Tear through them all here, starting with the Skaven, and, well, frankly, following with the Wood Elves as well. But anyway, that's his plan, I'm sure. There are plenty of meatbags to go around, at least for now. I'm going to start the battle off by moving our rarely seen, admittedly, siege towers. The husks of dead trees, and the ram also a husk of a dead tree. But hey, it works quite nicely. And if these are husks of Atylwyth trees, they've got to be pretty darn durable. They are pretty darn magical objects and pretty darn tough themselves. But anyway, Draika and her handmaidens will work upon the gatehouse while the ram closes the distance. We clear the walls of the enemy Poison Wind Globadiers, while at the same time we quickly summon a unit of Malevolent Dryads amongst the Plague Claw Catapult crew and tear them quickly to shreds. A nice thing about having the infinite range summon that we have with Draika. Alright, and ooh, that pestilent breath probably hurt the enemy more than it did us as well. Lovely. Oh, looks like 2 regiments of Storm Vermin are crossing the bridge here, and considering there's 2 of them together, this feels like another good time to summon a second set of Malevolent Dryads. Block off this blob of the Storm Vermin, and if they want to sit together like this is probably a good time to use our Winter's Heart. Or Heart of Winter, whatever. Like so. So the Malevolent Dryads will poison them, hold them down, and the Winter's Heart will dish out the damage. Lovely. Alright, so they're gonna have a bad time, and I assume the rats on the walls and under the walls or behind the walls are gonna have a pretty bad time as well. Our siege towers arrive and will begin disgorging their Dryad cargo, Malevolent Dryad cargo, upon the walls. The gatehouse will soon fall as the ram has reached it and it only requires 3 hits, and even if that should fail, Coadil is currently whacking away at one of the walls as well, so he can simply tear down the meatbags' battlements, and the forest can stream in to reclaim the land, turning it back to its primordial state. In some ways, I guess that's also kind of the goal of the Beastmen. Maybe Citadel and the Beastmen have something to talk about. I mean, I guess he did get corrupted by Beastmen, well, by Morgars, so... kind of makes sense. But I digress. The battle is going well, let's say, but the balance of power remains at 50-50, and the Malevolent Dryads, together with the Winterheart, did about 60% damage to 2 units of Storm Vermin, which for a summoned unit, I think, is pretty good use. In the meantime, the other thing that it's doing is keeping the enemy from protecting the sort of area where we're breaching the settlement. And that ain't so great for the denizens of Help It. As once we take up position on the walls with our range units, once we have command of the bridge crossing over here, and considering that our remaining units will outrange those of the enemies, let's just say they're going to have a bad time. The enemy is still firing at us with a tower, unfortunately, as it looks like a warlord, a single warlord, is sufficient to maintain control of the tower, despite the fact that there is a full unit of dryads up here. But it does look like the enemy will at least move more units up here, so I can't complain too much. Although the main reason I do is I feel like if this was the player's unit, the tower would have already been captured by the enemy. Ooh, somebody's lobbing a few arrows the warlord's way. Ah, it's the Glade Captain, whatever. But if the warlord wants to fight up there, we're gonna send Draika and her 2 handmaids to tear them down. Or to tear the warlord apart, whatever. And to make sure that we take this wall. Alrighty, there we go. Draika's on pit. Oh, she can still summon her root attack on top of the wall. I didn't know that. That's pretty neat. I thought it would only be on the ground, because, you know, some things don't really work on the walls. And as the warlord gets hit by Draika and by... Yep, he's basically immediately killed off. Again, Draika hits very, very hard. She may be a small unit, but by virtue of the massive buffs she has to her, weapon strength, 1.5k. And I'm pretty sure we can get that up higher as well. Again, the main issue here is it's mostly base and not armor piercing, but that's still pretty crazy. Alrighty, and it looks like a few of the rats were attempting to reclaim the... Oh, wow. That poor rat. Lost its head and got sent flying out the wall. Ooh, this is going to be very fun for Draika. She and the 2 Malevolent Branch Wraiths can enjoy heading down this little set of stairs, sending rat heads and corpses falling down upon the other meat bags. Magnificent. Actually, this is probably the more fun portion of the battle, even compared to the main portion of the battle. I guess Draika goes where the killing is best. Alright, and we do still have at least 1 unit of regular dryads with these guys, and ooh, it does look like the enemy is going to send more units up here, including some unbreakable plague monks. Well, good for them, and we wish them luck, but with every sort of melee attack, considering the AoE, it looks like a decent amount of the enemy are sent flying off the walls. But honestly, this is exactly the kind of fight I would expect to see within a Skaven stronghold. Lots and lots of rats just sort of throwing bodies at their enemies, and then the bodies just falling off of the sort of rickety construction that the rats have. Alright, well, this is going to take a while. Let's see what else we've got. We are still holding the bridge here. The enemy will probably attempt to close with it, but yeah. Oh, wow, we're actually pretty much out of ammunition with the Malevolent Dryads. Huh. Okay, well, then we could always send Citadel to deal with whatever other units, or even lead the charge with the other units. Frankly, we haven't really had the opportunity to use our reinforcements yet, the Wildwood Rangers and the Zotes and whatnot, but by the look of it, we don't really need them. And I really don't think there's anything left in the enemy army that can actually threaten Citadel, so he can hold this bridge forever, pretty much by himself. And if it isn't a Doom Wheel, isn't that cute? Well, soon it will have been a Doom Wheel, as it's already down to 15% of its HP or so, and will attempt to flee from Citadel. It's just lucky we don't have a lot of arranged units remaining, but we do have the reinforcements that have arrived now, so a little bit of work from the Sisters of the Thorn and the Glade Riders rather. And the Doom Wheel will actually be joined by a Plague Priest. We're going to pop off that Muster of Malevolence with a with a Citadel upon it. And start whacking away at that Plague Priest at the same time, which rapidly loses half of his HP. Citadel may not hit quite as hard as Dryka in general terms, but I'm willing to bet he has got a lot more armor-piercing weapon damage. Yeah, double the armor-piercing damage. Oh wow, look at that. The Looming Dread drops him down to 6 melee defense. Does that matter over much? I'd wager not. His HP is so dang high. If only we could get him regeneration of some kind, that'd be great. I mean, obviously he can still just be healed by a Malevolent Branch Rape, but it would still be nice to have some kind of healing. But anyway, the enemy Plague Priest flees, but will get sniped by a set of arrows of Kurnus, and the rats that move to reinforce will get torn to shreds by a flock of doom. Dryka and her handmaids have completely butchered the rats up on top of the walls. Corpses litter the battlements and below the battlements, and Dryka looks pretty happy. And so I'm happy. Anyway, the bounce power shifts to about 90% in our favor. And Citadel's, well, actually, he's taking about 40% damage at this point, although I think he's also taking a decent bit of range fire. I have seen a couple of the hits from the Glade Captain hit him. Anyways, just going to back off slightly just to get close enough to potentially get a heal from the Earthblood. And then we'll move back towards fighting the enemy Mutant Rat Ogre. There won't be much of a fight as these Zoats have arrived on field. Again, I wasn't really going to use them, and frankly, we don't really need them. Oh, wow. The Zoats can send a Mutant Rat Ogre flying, but their mass should be less than it. That's kind of interesting. But anyhow, I decided to move these guys for that poor... oh, that poor Mutant Rat Ogre. He's not having a good day. What was I talking about before? Oh, and he gets sent flying again. Oh, that poor guy. I guess the Mutant Rat Ogres suffer from the same situation or same issue as Vargulfs do. It looks like they're sort of massive and bulky, but they have a tendency to not have enough resistance to this sort of thing. Vargulfs also have a really bad tendency to get knocked down and sent flying by units that seem to be smaller than them. I can at least see Citadel sending them flying, but anyway, I digress. My point with the Zoats was I decided to send them in just because they have a million bound Earthbloods, and we're just going to keep dropping those on Citadel until he's more or less at full HP. Why wait for him to recover? As in post-battle. And besides, there's like 2 units left in the enemy, his entire army. Allow the Zord, maybe 3 units, huh? 1, 2, 3, and 4 units. Ah! Oh, good for them. But there won't be any left fairly soon, and the enemy lord finally closes the distance, but Dryka has arrived to support Citadel. At least this way the Zoats get to do something. Even though I guess the battle was won before they really contributed anything to the battle, but they've been fighting their own battles as well, and this kept the battle interesting, especially on those battlements. That was really entertaining. Alrighty, just a couple more hits, and with that, the enemy army will shatter, and the battle is ours. Lovely. And Citadel's back to nearly full HP as well. We're just going to, I guess, pop off a couple of the last Earthbloods, and we'll be good to go to keep killing everything around this place. Alright, there we go. Let's face it, that was never going to go very well for the rats. Especially as the auto-resolve usually hates us, and in this particular case it was almost -1 unit being destroyed. Almost an auto-resolvable battle. We didn't really need the second army. Dryka, by the looks of it, and Citadel could have handled it themselves, and Citadel with 41k damage, pretty darn solid. More solid than 29k? Hey, we got 40-something K for Skaven Blight. Come on. Help it is also tier 5. Rude. Tremendously rude. Oh well. Raise. Like so. And you will not be able to heal here, unfortunately, but it is what it is. You know what? Stay in forest calls. Just for in case if you get attacked. Fadian, you have a Dawnstone. Sure. Isolal, Great Stag. Daith's Reaper. Hello. Magical attacks. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We gotta find a lord that doesn't have magical attacks and give that to them. Now, Fadian, in March stance, you could get close to Prague. Not quite to it. I think to bet these guys will still move towards sacking it, but they probably won't occupy it, and we frankly don't care that much if they're gonna sack it. You will suffer attrition if you do this, but I think it'll be worth our time. Alright, and that's much better. Oh, and we'll probably still have to go down here, take Savastra. Actually, if these guys take Savastra and then we take Savastra from them, that might be better than what I had originally been anticipating. Anyway, with that, folks, we are out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Minus DURTHU. Oh, right. Yeah, all right. I will fight what remains of this garbage between the episodes, just so that the auto-resolve doesn't kill our units, and then we'll try to see about moving DURTHU close enough towards Paravon. I'm a little bit, though, worried that I'll think about it. Might not risk it and might just head directly into Paravon instead. Granted, that'll mean these guys will attack us together with Warband and all that, but maybe it's safer? I don't know. Morgar has to die again, though I would prefer to get his defeat rate on DURTHU. We have to deal with him. Skavenblight has fallen, however, and if we take out all of the tier 1, or tier 5 rather, settlements from Scryer, they're probably going to be non-viable as a faction pretty darn soon. Oh, they have a high tier settlement in Karakazor. Maybe we'll send Felnosol to take it down. Because they got it from Clan Verms. And then I presume that they also hold... No, they don't hold Magritta. Huh. So... Is Myrmidons also scavened up? Ooh, Skull Island. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. Just gotta make sure that they no longer have their advanced unit buildings and then their faction is doomed. Which, well, approaches. Anyway, stay tuned for more Wood Elves. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.